Let's jump right in and decode this thing. 50 YouTube legends. I mean, we're talking about the absolute pioneers who literally shaped our childhoods over the last 15 years, all locked in a single giant cube. For the very first time, these titans are going head to head. And the prize? $1 million. But here's the kicker. It's not for themselves. It's for their subscribers. This isn't just your standard competition. It's honestly a masterpiece of internet history.
So, how did this whole massive event even kick off? 500 million. Think about that for a second. That is the impossibly huge subscriber milestone MrBeast recently shattered. And to celebrate, he didn't just throw a normal party, he put together this massive $1 million cube survival tournament. It's really just a grand-scale way of giving back to the very community that built the platform from the ground up.
Jimmy, you know him as MrBeast, made his motivation crystal clear right from the start. He said, "Without these creators, I wouldn't be here today." And that right there tells us we're looking at so much more than just a game show bracket. It's a deeply emotional tribute to a 15-year legacy of incredible talent. Jimmy actually admitted himself that if these pioneers hadn't paved the way, he'd probably be working at Walmart right now. So this entire tournament, it's essentially his massive thank you letter to them. Okay, let's dive into this. Round 1. Surviving the nostalgic trends. Inside this cube, these 50 creators were suddenly forced to confront the absolute most iconic 2010s internet trends that we all grew up watching. We're talking finding a fake cake, Lamborghini, hitting epic water bottle flips, the Harlem Shake, floor is lava, and ultimately an epic Minecraft build. These definitely weren't just random games chosen out of a hat. These were the exact viral trends that made YouTube a global phenomenon in the first place. And now, ironically, those same trends became the biggest threat to their survival in the tournament. The chaos kicked off immediately with Cake or Fake. The rule was super simple, right? Out of 5 Lamborghini cars, exactly 1 was made entirely of cake. Choose the real car, you're safe, and you move on. Choose the cake, boom, you're instantly eliminated. But the real danger actually wasn't the cake itself, it was the cutthroat scramble to claim a spot. The second a creator stepped away to inspect a car, somebody else would swoop right in and steal their safe zone. It was absolute pandemonium, where one wrong choice, or honestly just being a little too slow, sent you straight home. Now, let's look at the brutal math of this tournament. We started out with 50 legends. Just that Lamborghini challenge alone wiped out 10 players in the blink of an eye, leaving only 40. From there, the water bottle flips absolutely decimated several more teams. Then, a copyright-cleared Harlem Shake challenge sliced the remaining numbers down to a mere 15. Just like that, in almost no time at all, 35 absolute titans of the internet were completely out of the running. The mechanics of that Harlem Shake mannequin challenge were incredibly stressful. Basically, you had to wait for the beat drop, frantically scan hundreds of mannequins hidden behind a curtain to spot the one single human who was slightly moving and quickly lock in their number. Only the first 15 to get it right survived. In the raw desperation to win, you had these absolute legends forming impromptu alliances on the spot, and some even resorted to blindly stealing answers from each other. It was pure, unfiltered survival mode. All right, moving on to round 2, mind games and lava. And this brilliantly illustrates 2 completely opposite survival mindsets. In the Floor is Lava game, players were actually handcuffed together in groups of 3, and they had to cross this gap using only 2 really small safe circles. On one side, Allier adopted an extreme, fast-paced strategy. He was literally picking up and carrying his teammates to rush across the lava. On the completely opposite end of the spectrum, Philip DeFranco chose this incredibly slow, highly deliberate scooting method, agonizingly checking every single step along the way. Both strategies carried massive risks, obviously, but they required entirely different kinds of mental endurance. Now let's slow things down a bit for round 3, the spicy chip bluff. 2 million. That is the Scoville rating of this chip. To put that completely astronomical number into perspective, taking a single bite of this thing is literally like swallowing pure fire. The physical agony is totally overwhelming, but the actual challenge wasn't just the heat. It was concealing that burning pain from the rest of the room. This set up an intensely psychological head-to-head battle. One player had to eat a chip, and their opponent had to guess if it was the 2 million Scoville fire chip or just a completely normal mild one. The eater had to maintain a flawless, deadpan poker face, even while their insides were absolutely screaming in pain. The guesser, meanwhile, basically had to act like a human lie detector. They were searching for the absolute subtlest microexpressions, a single drop of sweat, a sharp intake of breath, anything to uncover the truth. Veterans like Jelly put on an absolute masterclass in this bluffing game. It was wild to watch.
Let's move to our finalists and see how this builds. After 47 legends were eliminated in this grueling gauntlet, only 3 remained standing. We had Jelly, who had just earned the title of Master of Bluffs, Alia, who totally dominated Floor's lava with pure speed, and Philip DeFranco, who survived through his calculated, slow, and steady approach. These 3 were now ready for the final showdown.
Which brings us to the finale, Ultimate Minecraft Showdown. Returning to the very game that practically built modern YouTube, our finalists faced the ultimate pressure cooker. 1 single hour. That is all the time they had. Now, despite having unlimited blocks and resources, having to build a $1 million tribute house with absolutely 0 prior planning in just 60 minutes, that is an unimaginably stressful task.
Once again, we saw 2 completely contrasting approaches here. Alia went all out and constructed this highly functional, mob-proof survival fortress. It really proved his deep technical gaming knowledge and his focus on safety. But Philip DeFranco? He took a beautifully emotional, deeply personal route. He built a deliberately imperfect house, and he specifically planted rose bushes just because his son loves gardening. His build really wasn't about gaming mechanics at all. It was just a father pouring his heart into a tribute for his family. And I think it really highlighted that sometimes a raw emotional connection resonates a lot louder than technical perfection. But who actually decides the winner? Well, MrBeast dropped the ultimate twist. The 47 original creators who had been eliminated, who were just relaxing over in the Mountain Dew Recharge Lounge, were suddenly brought back into the cube. They were tasked with inspecting the 3 Minecraft builds up close to cast the final deciding vote. So the ultimate power now rested entirely in the hands of the eliminated jury. So the crucial point here is, when the jury cast their votes, the results honestly spoke volumes. Philip DeFranco's heartfelt, emotional story completely won over the room, and that earned him the victory in this $1 million tournament. Now he gets to distribute that massive prize money directly to his subscribers. Alia put up an incredibly tough fight as the runner-up, for sure, but ultimately Philip's genuine human connection secured the win. Let's wrap this up with a tribute to the OGs. The entire event concluded with Jimmy reflecting from his childhood bedroom. And that's the exact spot where he started his journey with literally 0 subscribers. He shared a really powerful thought with us. He said, even if I was talking to 10 people, I'd still be working hard on YouTube. It really grounds the entire spectacle, doesn't it? Reminding us that this platform and the legacy of these 50 incredible legends was built purely on relentless passion, not just the pursuit of millions of views.
So I'll leave you with this final question to think about. How will the legacy of these 50 original creators continue to shape digital culture and the internet's future for decades to come? It's a massive question. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.